Good evening, boys and girls. Actually, it's afternoon, but whatever. I am reporting from my trailer here in the trailer park, and I just had a funny story for you guys. This happened to me last Wednesday, right when I was posting the Posh video, and I just thought this was hilarious because a couple of weeks ago, this lady I went to school with named Kelsey was posting about her son. And what a good boy he is. He's a nice guy. You don't have to worry about him, ladies. He won't be getting in no trouble. He's a gentleman. He don't need no fixing. I'm paraphrasing, but that line was in there. He won't need fixing. And that just stuck it. See, the thing is, I went to school with this girl. And I went to school with the boy's father. So, allegedly. So anyway, her husband, childhood sweetheart, you know, and good for them right there, right out of the gate. I'll say that. I'll pay them a compliment. Out of all the couples I knew in high school, they're one of the only two that are still together. So, but back to the boy's father. All right, so I posted. I seem to remember the boy's father couldn't go anywhere without destroying people's property or committing assault on random unsuspecting people for no good reason, clear into his 20s. What is that, if not needing some fixing? And she blew up, of course, because clearly she's living a different life now. And probably most of the people she hangs out with now don't know about her husband, don't know about her past. And she probably is a soccer mom that's like, you know, and all nice and phony and goes to brunch after church on Sunday with people she doesn't like and keeping up a front, right? So, whatever. But yeah, I went to school with this guy. They've been together, I think, at least since 15. They're my age. I'm 36. So 20 plus years. Good for them again. But yeah, I mean, it just seemed ironic that this woman who's given her entire life to this guy who would go to parties and just take some underclassman's jacket and throw it in the bonfire. And if the freshman had anything to say about it, here, little freshman. Plenty of nights ended with him on the receiving end because he keyed the wrong car or window. But who does that? Who does that? Literally, every party they ever went to in high school walked up and said, "Oh, is this your hat?" On the bonfire. I'm going to sneak off to the bathroom with somebody's shirt and wipe my ass with it. And if they don't like it, we're going to fight. Of course, nobody likes it, so there's a fight. I'm going to take, "Oh, is this somebody's glasses?" Ha, 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 I don't like it. We're going to fight. Of course, they didn't like it, so they'd fight. Literally, every single party and get-together, he would do this. Last one I incident, 23, might have been older, might have been 25. I was living in South Dakota at the time when some other friends that we all went to school with told me a story about a dozen of them going camping with four-wheelers, coolers full of beer and all that, and weed. And one gentleman partook in too much weed, smoked until he literally couldn't stand up. He was on a cooler or rock or something, tailgate maybe, whatever. He was sitting down. And unresponsive. Hey. So they all went four-wheeling without him. Everyone except Tyrell. Why did Tyrell stay behind? Because there's a guy who's defenseless. And in Tyrell's mind, that's a great opportunity. Just lit the dude up. Must have punched him 50 plus times. The guy's eyes were swollen shut. His nose was fucked up. Bloody everywhere. Chipped teeth. And again, I don't like using the word bad boy for that. Because to me, like, a bad boy is just a rule breaker, not a psycho. This is a psycho. And a pussy. Real bad boys aren't pussies. Okay? Because when another guy came back who was not stoned, and Tyrell's size, said, "Why did you just light him up? You seriously just mangled his face for no other reason than he's practically handcuffed. And that's what you do. You find someone defenseless and you beat the crap out of him because that's who you are. Now you're going to go against me." And he didn't want none of that. Oh no, suddenly he was anti-violent, which just makes me despise him. I can handle a guy that wants to fight everybody, but the guy that wants to fight freaking defenseless people and then pusses out when somebody can fight back, that is the biggest puss. Or goes for a gun, starts a street fight, bam, bam, He gets hit a couple times, says, oh crap, I'm losing this, runs for a gun. That is the biggest piece of shit. They should be killed. The women who have sex with them should be killed. Any offspring they have should be killed for the betterment of mankind. Okay? So anyway, so he, I hope that makes some of you feel better. He did get his comeuppance several times, but a guy like him, he should be beaten up every freaking day for the rest of his life. I know people, again, over the hill in another trailer park, because even our suburbs have trailer parks here in northern Nevada. Kids were scared to go to the park because they knew Tyrell and his friends were down there. They're going to take their shoes. They're going to send them home without their shirt and bloody and bruised for no other reason than they could. These people today were hesitant of having kids because they didn't want their kids to grow up and meet someone like Tyrell. And so here's this lady posting, oh, that she's absolutely against guys like that, and no woman would date a guy like that. When she's given her life, given her body, given children the best years of her life. Maybe the divorce tomorrow is still the best years of her life that she gave to this guy. And so it's just funny because when I posted that last Posh video, it was my girl's company Christmas party, which is always an enjoyable time. She has a great boss, man, and he'll get you loaded and free, and you won't see a check. And, but it was also a retirement and welcoming new employees. And who was one of the new employees? Kelsey and her husband. And it was just hilarious just seeing the look on their face. And I'm just, hello, you two. How are you? And they were very uncomfortable, which made me feel good. I'm not going to jump him for what he did to my friends. I'm not going to get my girlfriend fired or do anything, but it was great. Just them on the other side, to one seat down, putting on their makeup, putting on their masks for people, their disguise. Oh yeah, we're nice people and we do this and we go to church on Sunday and we've always been good and given to charity. When right over here they know Dusty is just laughing to himself at just how full of shit they are and what terrible human beings he knows them to be. And in Tyrell's defense, I gotta say, I noticed he wasn't drinking. Honestly, in this town, I didn't know, is he staying sober to fight me after this? Which I'm totally down with. I almost thought about stopping drinking at that moment when I noticed he wasn't drinking, but then I thought, you know what, I can still take this D-bag, even with a buzz. I'm not worried about it. I'm not a freshman. So I kept drinking, and it's not going to ruin my good time. I'm not going to let him. But maybe on the off chance, he realized he's not a good man on alcohol and he quit. Good for him, if that is the case, because I know other people who are terrible friends, terrible to their family, when drinking, and they still drink. So if he's got a hand on it, that's more than some other people I know can say. And that story's coming. But I just thought that was funny. I just thought it was a good time. You guys ever have that situation where you just at a social gathering and you're like, especially when you see some piece of shit putting on a phony facade, and it's just great because they know that you know what a piece of shit they are. And anyway, and it goes back to what I was saying last week. Guys like Posh, Blue Pill, Beta Boys, they read what she writes. And they will argue with you, a red pill man, and say, no, look at that. She doesn't want a guy who needs fixing. You just got to be nice and keep your head down and don't have any opinions of your own and agree with everything they say. And then someday maybe you'll have a girlfriend. You'll see. And that's why Posh is jerking off to Pornhub. Well, a dickhead like Tyrell has a wife and kids. Sorry to say. I'm not saying you all got to go out and start fights with people. There's different ways to be a bad boy. Again, I hate using that term for him because he's a pussy when it comes to fighting a real man. I know some of those kids now that are grown, filled out, and he wouldn't dare mess with them now. Not in his best years. But, and again, you don't have to be bad, but his point that you still need to be something of a bad boy to get chicks or a hard man, a tough guy. Again, you don't have to go start fights. You don't have to be abusive. You don't have to be pulled off of a freshman every single public outing, and you don't need to destroy private property, that's messed up, but it does help. But don't be a little pushover like Posh. Don't be a puppy dog who just agree with everything and jump in Captain Save a Garden Tool every single time, hoping that they're going to realize what a nice guy you are and give you sympathy. That doesn't work. You know, guys like Posh, again, they slow down men's progress overall because he looks at what guys like him, and you know, and I know it's hard, but you have to be nice to guys like Posh, at least try to when you can. When trying to explain things to them, you have to say, stop looking at what she posts and look over here at who she fucks and has children with. You idiot. That's what she likes. That's what she does. That's what women are into. Okay? Now, guys, if you like my masculine, deep, sexy voice, if you find it alluring and pleasuring, please hit like and subscribe and the notification bell. If you want more stories, me to serenade you with my voice, stories of the trailer park, here from Elko, Nevada, the America's real Letterkenny, right here, then like and subscribe, please. Share with your friends if you think they'll get a kick out of it. Go ahead. Anyway, it's off to the gym. Most important day of the week. Bench, motherfucker. How much you bench? One word. Ask Mark Bell. Anyway, peace out, guys.